Excuse me, is this where I'm supposed to talk to the president now? Well, hi. Apparently I'm supposed to give my comments to President Joe Biden here, and well, that's what I'm going to do. Joe, I have a question for you. The United States Congressional Research Service in 2020 told us that 32 states in America are failing America's injured workers and that we need some minimum federal standards that we've needed on the table since 1972 in the National Work Comp Commission. Not just more OSHA inspectors, sir. That's a cop-out, and it's not appreciated by America's injured workers. What I'd like to know from you, Senator, or President Biden, excuse me, because when you were vice president and Obama's vice president, I asked you for help on this same issue for America's injured workers to speak up, as injured workers were being failed by 32 states. And the U.S. Congressional Research Service confirmed that in 2020, a bilateral commission that also told us that there are 32 states failing our injured workers, and we need some minimum federal standards on the table, like we need federal laws for a lot of things. So it's puzzling to me when our vice president, Vice President Harris, used to be a state AG for the state of California, one of the 32 states failing America's injured workers, sir. So it's puzzling to me when she can't speak up. As we're told by the United States Congressional Research Service, that her state was one of 32 states failing America's injured workers. It's even more puzzling to me, sir, as I have come forward to you as a human being in America and told you that State Senator Ortiz Self and CMAR mental health medical facilities here in Washington State used our Latino immigrants on Latino Legislative Day in 2018 to spin the narrative and say, we don't need these minimum federal standards for America's workers that we're told we've needed since 1972 by this bilateral commission. So it's frustrating when you, sir, have failed me. When you were under Obama as his vice president, now you have a vice president too that used to be a state AG that's part of the 32 states that are accused of using our health care to hurt and harm us and deny us our benefits and cost us off to the federal rolls. Yes, sir. It's frustrating when this is happening to humans in our community. And I've spoken up and spoken out even to the FBI on my front porch, sir. And you need to hear that conversation I had with that FBI agent as he was here as the SSDI local folks locally were trying to hurt and harm me. It's frustrating as human beings, sir, when you will not speak up for immigrants and oppression of labor here in America. And what I am talking to you about on couple issues here is the exploitation of labor, sir. And when you and Kamala Harris cannot speak up, but she was a state AG, that is just the same as Pam Bondi when she was the state AG in Florida, and neither one of them, Republican or Democrat, none of you could get honest about the minimum federal standards for America's workers, sir. Then that's oppressive. When all the people in power can't get honest, when a bilateral commission told us we need minimum federal standards, yet we're told by people like Jason Call for Congress. And Senator Sanders in 2015 got honest, but then went silent on the minimum federal standards for over 5 years now. Him, Senator Patty Murray, and Tom Perez all told us we need these minimum federal standards, sir. They remained silent. As folks like Jason Call and Our Revolution and Tyler Vega told us to vote for Republican candidates like Tamarini Borelli, a Trumpster, and Scott Stallion, another Republican work comp lawyer, told us we have alternative solutions. Well, those alternative solutions, Mr. Biden, are turning out to be what the same things you and our unions in America are giving us. Alternative solutions is not the minimum federal standards in the National Work Comp Commission we have needed since 1972 when you first stepped foot in Washington, D.C. And for that whole time, sir, when my dad was hurt on the job in 1976, you have fucked me and my family, sir, and that is not appreciated. And I'm speaking up as a human being, as a patient here in America, to talk about being denied our benefits when we're hurt on the job, being denied mental health meds when we're hurt on the job, being denied pain meds, whether we're hurt on the job or not. Our health care is being used to hurt and harm us, and others are not being held accountable when that goes down as you wage your class war on opiates and injured workers and patients' human rights who need some minimum federal standards, but you failed to speak up, sir. And so does Harris. And so did Trump. So I'm sorry, when you and all of them and Senator Sanders has remained silent, his sheep like Jason Call for Congress and Tyler Vega, who runs Our Revolution in Washington State, have told us and lied to us for whole Washington, and so on out of Seattle sells us whole Washington for the last 5 years, but nobody can get honest about the minimum federal standards for America's workers, sir, then you are the ones who are failing us just as much as the right. What you are is all in bed with the state businessmen over America's workers needing minimum federal standards, sir, and that is no longer tolerable. I have stepped up to you, I have begged for your help, and as a human being, as a man to man, sir, who says he is compassionate and cares about human beings and workers, and you get on that union's ass, you get on AFSCME's ass, and you tell them to put the minimum federal standards on the table, sir, or you are the arrogant motherfucker who is rude and crude to the rest of us in America. Fuck my foul mouth. What is wrong is your lies and Trump's lies and Senator Sanders' fucking silence and Harris, who sits on her ass. Can't get on. There's a war waged on workers, and we're told by the United States Congress, Congressional Research Service, we need this shit. It's you, sir, are the inappropriate one. You want to block us out on Facebook, silence us out as we beg for help for minimum federal standards here in America for our workers. Where one worker don't get $35,000 in one state and $750 in another. That is an inequality, and we cannot address inequality in America if you don't stand up and speak up for the minimum federal standards and have the National Work Comp Commission, sir. More OSHA inspectors will be nice, but that doesn't correct the problem. This problem was here long before Trump got in the office, and you ignored it for 8 years with Obama. There's no excuse for this. This is elitism, this is intellectualism, this is ageism, and Kamala Harris is very much a part of that, and was for years, as she hurt and harmed injured workers in the state of California, and you can't get honest about that here, then there is something wrong with you, sir. Good luck riding that bike. Stay safe on it. Have a good day. This is inappropriate. It's not appropriate for you to silence us as we speak up as patients and human beings. That shooting in Tulsa, Oklahoma, sir, is on you. As I told you, that was going to happen because we are denying pain meds by people who are smuggling and arrogantly staring in the nose at us when we are truly in pain. You have used your offensive addiction, discrimination to hurt and harm people in this nation, and they're rising up and fighting back. That is not a good formula. To allow one man to hurt and harm another, then live under a different set of state net, tort, work comp laws and hurt and harm us. As we scream out in rage and anger, we get criminal law. No, sir, you need to step up and not just ask for gun control and all that. You need to address the fact that that shooting in Oklahoma hospital was precipitated, and the motive behind it, the cops even told us, was the failure of the man to be treated at first pain after he was operated on his back. And we're told that hospital has a history of handing out Tylenol rather than fucking health care and some human compassion that those doctors have a duty to do no harm to. Those doctors are harming us, sir, and so are you. You want to have your war on opiates, that's fine, but don't allow your offensive addiction, discrimination to hurt and harm injured workers when we ask for help. That offensive addiction, discrimination is a lie that we have been told. Only 1% of freaking surgery patients actually get addicted after 1 year. So that whole thing is a farce, based upon a lie. This nation needs to not be based upon lies, whether they are Trump's lies when an election or your silence and Senator Sanders' silence. As this nation's injured workers are pushed to the streets to die and cautious of waiting on SSDI that we're being denied too wrongfully. It is inappropriate. We have had homelessness rise in this nation because we are not policing doctors in this nation, as we say, give up more Medicare for all, more free care. Let's police the doctors, lying to deny to omit us in our care to start with. And the doctor will say, well, I'm not the judge, I don't make decisions. No, sir, you omit the truth and water down our injuries. So the man making the decision for us doesn't make the correct decision. And then you're never held to account, doctor. And it is inappropriate when you live under a different set of laws and you hurt and harm others. You ration care, you water down care, and you are denying mental health meds to patients in this nation. That's inappropriate. As you cry when mental health med on the right, the other one's gun control on the other. Yet what we need is people to stop fucking lying to us and using this, and only using this as puppets like you did Latino immigrants on Latino Legislative Day 2018 in the state of Washington to spin the narrative away from the need of minimum federal standards for workers in this nation. Not appropriate, sir. So when you and Mrs. Harris want to talk about Facebook and us harassing you folks, why don't you folks get honest with us and give us an avenue to hold you accountable? It's like, I'll vote us out. That's not working. Because it doesn't matter if it's the right or left. When you're not honest with us, you don't get held accountable unless we step up as we the people and call you out. Now you got Chris Smalls and the union and Amazon. How you gonna step up for all of it? You and Chris Smalls are failing America's workers. And I beg him and you, President Biden and Sanders, to speak up for our minimum federal standard. You're the ones screwing us here. Have a good day, sir. Oh, and do stay safe on that bicycle. I hear you have a hard time with those, sir.